Good afternoon, everyone. It's Captain Chandler with your police department, and we just wanted to come to you this afternoon with a Community Connection live update to talk about the statistics of the past 7 days. But really, the most important thing that we need to talk about is this winter storm that is on the way. And at 6 o'clock tonight, we will have a winter storm warning underway. So we really just want to tell you what to expect and then what the city is doing and police department is doing for our preparedness efforts, and then also some tips to keep you safe. So we hope you hang out with us through this broadcast. And also here with us today is Chief James Hambrick and Richard. And really, Chief, thanks for joining. Haven't seen you in a bit on the lives. We're glad to have you. And take it away, Chief.
Hey, glad to be here, and thank you guys for everything that you do, and for this forum that you created to keep our community connected and informed. I just want to say thank you to you two guys for making that happen. Also, man, I could spend a whole show on just how proud I am of not only our agency but our community. And man, we're so blessed to live in such a generous community, and just the everything that we see that's going on, and just how our community responds to various things. We're so blessed here. So first thing is to say to our city and our community is that I'm grateful that for the first time in a while, we can say that we are an agency that we're fully staffed, and not many departments can say that right now. There's been a challenge as we face uh, issues of getting people uh, into the law enforcement field and profession. But here at Mount Juliet, we've been blessed, and it feels good to be able to say that we're fully staffed. And even today, so proud. We have a member, a new officer, Daniel Lanata, that graduated the academy today, and man, represented our agency and this community well. And
Oh, yeah.
I know, Captain, you're probably going to talk about the achievements that he received, but we're so blessed and so proud of Daniel and his accomplishments, and the way he represented not only himself, but our agency, and again, this city. And so we just want to take this time again, during this holiday season. Safety is paramount. You guys are going to be talking about that a little later with the impact of the weather. But we know that during this time is a time of travel for many. We want you to be as safe as possible, to keep your families and yourselves protected. Also, this is also a time where a lot of uh, criminal element prey on individuals and try to prey by scams, by different things and different means. So make sure you're protected in that area as well. Uh, Safeguard your identity and all those type things. If it's something you're not sure about, because we receive, and I say we, as members of the community and the department, we're not immune from the different calls that our other citizens receive. I receive those same calls, and I just normally just hang up, just hang up on them. But this Mount Juliet Police Department, we're not going to be calling you asking you for money, and that's been one thing that
Mhm.
I received last week. And then when the gentleman uh, went into his spiel, I said, "Well, that's all fine and good. I'm the chief of police," and then he hung up. So those things out there. We want you to be mindful of those and protect yourselves and your families from scammers and different things like that. But I just really want to jump on and just say, have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, be safe, enjoy friends and family and time together, because that's what it's about. It's a great time, but make sure that we're doing the things that we can do to keep ourselves and our family protected. But again, I could go on and on about the blessings that we've received here in this agency that we are so proud to serve. And it's just sometimes overwhelming when you think about the not only the um, being fully staffed, but the quality of people that we're bringing on board. And
Mhm.
man, I'm just so overwhelmed and just so thankful to God for the privilege of again serving this agency and serving our community. So I want to say thank you to the Mount Juliet community, to all of you. We're looking for a great and blessed new year in 2023, and a lot of things are coming down the pike. Just be mindful of that. Some great things, new initiatives, and things like that. So just excited about the time ahead and the year ahead. And again, Captain and Rich, thank you guys so much for this opportunity and this platform that you've created. And again, it's no small thing because our community feels connected, they feel informed, and I hear those compliments all the time. So thank you. God bless you.
Yeah, absolutely, Chief. And hey, I think this week and just thinking about everything with Christmas and the New Year is we're blessed. That's the words that come to my mind. We are a police department that is completely staffed with officers, 72 full-time officers, all working here. And there's not a lot of police departments around us that can say that they struggle to hire individuals, and we're just thankful for that. And one of those amazing officers graduated today, Daniel Lanata. He's a native of Louisiana. He then eventually went to the Air Force, spent some time in Japan. And then when he got out of the Air Force, him and his wife wanted to find a community to land to, and they landed in the Nashville area. He knew he wanted to work for the Mount Juliet Police Department, and he just graduated from the academy today. He served as class president.
Yes.
He received the Law Award. He received the Outstanding Officer Award, and he also received the Leadership Award. And all those is based off his ability. His test scores were extremely high, but also he had those leadership abilities to lead a group of 110 something other recruits at the academy forward, and to sure that they all were successful as well in the academy. So we're proud of him.
Very
Folks
proud.
will introduce him in a release on our social media later this evening, and you'll get to meet him in that format. But we're just grateful to have so many wonderful men and women who work for us, who are of strong caliber and get out there every day serving in our community to keep us safe. And they'll be serving throughout this winter storm. They're going to be away from their families for the holidays, but they're also going to be dealing with likely some difficult moments as we are likely to experience a higher call volume. There's going to be some travel issues. It's going to be extremely cold. So we as a staff are worried about our officers' health to ensure that they stay warm if they're out on anything extended. So it's an interesting weekend for us, and we're going to go into all the details of the winter storm. But this all wouldn't be possible without people like you, Chief, the leadership here, but also the community support that we have.
That's right.
Because when a community is supporting its law enforcement because their law enforcement police department is out doing a good job and doing good policing, it allows our officers to serve in even greater capacity and provide such a better quality of service to our community. And it's all full circle, and that circle is certainly connected in Mount Juliet, and we're grateful for that. But Chief,
Absolutely.
I know you got to get somewhere else, and we appreciate you joining this afternoon with us for this live update. But we're going to put you backstage, and Rich and I are going to get to the winter storm information.
All right. Thank you, guys.
We'll see you out there, Chief. I know if it gets bad, we'll see you out there on the road with us. So be careful. See you soon.
You too.
All right. Rich, let's get this winter storm warning information up. So this afternoon, Rich, the Weather Service sent out a winter storm warning. So they're looking at the models, they're looking at their forecast, and it just hit the scale where it's time to issue a winter storm warning for Wilson County, also Davidson County as well. And the counties basically in a line to the east and west of us and continuing through the north. And what's expected this evening is we're going to have a brief shot of rain that's going to quickly turn over to snow with some sleet, and then it's going to get really, really cold. And they're saying that the snow accumulations could get up to 2 to 4 inches possible in some pockets. Could be in our area, could not be in our area, but we are in that risk zone. But the wind chills is going to be very, very cold. It's dangerous. It's potentially life-threatening, as cold as it will be, and as strong as the winds will be. And Rich, I don't think we've seen it this cold since like 1996. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the data that we looked at. And the only folks that were still patrolling at Mount Juliet at that time were Chief and Lieutenant Neely. No one else at the police department has worked in a circumstance where it's been that cold. So we are ensuring that our staff is prepared, that they're going to be warm, that they have some resources to keep themselves warm. We have plans in place to ensure that they are not out in any lengthy cold weather in the elements for a long period of time. And what that requires is more staff on duty, right? And our staff is going to be on call. So throughout the holiday weekend, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, our officers are going to be connected to their phones, ready for the call if we need their assistance. Here's more wind chill information that you see. The wind chill warning is in effect for Middle Tennessee, 10 p.m. tonight till about noon tomorrow. And it's going to be cold till Monday, under 32 degrees, which is freezing, 90 hours of temperatures below freezing. And you need to be mindful of that. Be mindful of yourself, but your friends, your neighbors as well. We want everyone to be warm. We don't want anyone to be in a situation where they do not have heat. And if you know of anyone who could potentially be in that situation, all you have to do is give us a call at our dispatch center, and our officers will go check on them. And then if they do not have a resource to stay warm, we will connect them with a resource to keep them warm. Rich, what are some other things folks, need to do when it's super cold? I know about the pets. Anything else that comes to mind?
Yeah, for sure. Two of the big ones are, of course, you touched on it briefly, limiting your time outdoors. Make sure you cover up your exposed skin. If you got a face mask you can wear, and let your faucets drip as it shows on the graphic there. Especially if your faucets are on the outside wall of your house, make sure you let your faucets drip. Both your cool and your warm water need to drip. That way your pipes are running just a little bit. If you don't, you could stand a chance of freezing and bursting those pipes, causing an even bigger problem.
Yeah, and watch out for your animals, your pets. And if you see pets that are out in elements that you feel are too cold, give our dispatch a call as well, and our animal control teams will go do a welfare check on the animals and pets that could be out there. We want everyone to be safe, whether you walk on 2 legs or 4 legs, right? Whether you're human or an animal. And it's going to be cold, really, really cold, something we haven't experienced for a while, since about 1996 in our area. And here's just showing that we will have 36 hours of wind chills below zero. And here's a graphic of the gusty winds, 35 to 40 miles per hour. Those winds are expected a little bit before the changeover, about 4 p.m. today, and go till about midnight. So anything that you have outside of your home that is loose, you may want to ensure that is secure, such as furniture on your porch, any flags, any decorations that you may have out. They may be blowing around with 35 to 40 mile per hour winds. And of course, the wind chill warning is in effect for all of Middle Tennessee. Here's a graphic of expected snow amounts, and it keeps changing depending on what different model that they run, but 1 to 2 inches, and then there's pockets of possible 4 inches, and that's what generated the winter storm warning for us. Timing for our area is 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. is when we should expect some things. And during this time frame, once it starts, you do not, and even before it starts, you don't want to be stuck out away from your home, because then you're going to try to get home and you're going to have to drive through the elements. When we see the biggest impacts on our roads, where we see a lot of vehicles off the roadway, people who are stuck, people who are trying to travel down impassable roads, it's when they are already out and then they try to get home after the impact started. And since the temperature is going to drop so quickly, there could be a flash freeze of whatever falls, and that will cause a flash issue with roads freezing and causing travel issues. So just be mindful of that. Plan ahead. Don't be stuck out when you're trying to get home. Tonight and this evening is one of those times where you just probably want to hang out at home and watch a Christmas movie or something, right? Hang out with your family if you have travelers in town, guests in town, and just hang out and relax at home. I would not be caught out in it. I know Rich and I, if we didn't have to be out in it, we would be at home, warm and hanging out. For our preparedness efforts with the police department, we are in coordination with Wilson County Emergency Management Agency. There is a slight concern of power outages. If power goes out, that means that heat will stop working and then people will get cold. We want to try to somehow ensure that that's not going to be an issue. So we have a plan to have shelter and warming locations. Our officers are also checking the areas where we have seen people live who are experiencing homelessness. So our officers will be patrolling those areas to ensure that there is no one out in the elements. And if we find anyone in that circumstance, we will ensure they are transported to a place that is much better for them. If we have any reports of an individual living in a poor condition, or they may be in a condition that they don't have heat, if that report is into our office at dispatch, we will dispatch an officer to that location to do a check on the individual to ensure they have heat. If they don't have heat, then we will work on ways to get them a resource to stay warm. All of our vehicles are equipped with the all-wheel drive so we can better maneuver if we have the road impacts, and staff is on standby. We issued what's called a tactical alert, and that means our officers are required to be ready in a state of readiness to respond within the city in a certain amount of time. Should we issue a response alert for them to respond back to the city to help out if we have any call overload or incidents that are occurring that require our assistance. The fire department, they have additional crews on standby. They also have additional vehicles ready to access difficult areas should there be any travel impacts. And our public works team has already been out doing amazing work with their vehicles, and they've been brining and pre-treating many of our roads. You saw an alert that went out this afternoon about neighborhood streets. While it's legal to be parked on a neighborhood street at this hour, it is still impeding their operation when they're trying to brine and pre-treat the roads. So we sent out a request, if you could, just move your car off of the neighborhood street if it's a main thoroughfare through a neighborhood, so they can apply the pre-treatment more easily as they're going through neighborhoods this afternoon and evening. And also, if we do have the major impacts of the roads become hazardous, they will have their snow response vehicles, 6 of them, out across the city and treating our roadways, trying to make it as safe as possible. Like always with cold weather, you want to remember, this is from the Weather Service, the 4 Ps: people, plants, pets, and pipes. With people, you want to bundle up, cover your exposed skin, check on children, the elderly, anyone else who is vulnerable during these cold conditions. With your plants, you want to bring them inside, cover any sensitive plants that you have. Your pets, bring them inside. If they are left outside, if they have to be left outside, then ensure they have an enclosed shelter. And pipes, you want to allow your water to drip from the indoor faucets, cover any exposed pipes that are outside. And just know too, and what we're trying to communicate to our staff, any exposed skin during the wind chill warning, when it's super, super cold out there, is at risk of frostbite. Anywhere between like 10 and 30 minutes, it could receive frostbite depending on the conditions. So we're trying to educate that out. We don't want anyone to get distracted outside where they may have an injury from the cold. And if you're looking on this graph, it's not going to be chilly. It's not going to be cold, folks. It's going to be extreme cold. Again, something we have not experienced since 1996. So to dress properly for that, multiple layers on your upper body, 3+, on your lower body, 2+, boots, waterproof, outer layer to keep that wind off you, a face mask, cover your exposed skin, and ensure you have a warm hat. So just keep everything covered up if you must get outside. If you have to drive, you want to take it slow. The majority of injuries occur in automobiles during a winter weather event, 70% of those, and always leave extra space between you and the vehicle in front of you, and anticipate yourself not being able to stop immediately, and anticipate the driver behind you not able to stop immediately as well. So you don't want to take any drastic, quick movements that require a sudden stop or sudden acceleration. If we have to get the plows out, please do not crowd the plows or try to pass them. They are truly trying to make those roads safer for you. And when we crowd them or pass them, it makes it very dangerous and it impedes what they're trying to do to keep everything safe. And if you have not yet, this is a very important resource for you to stay connected with us. Sign up for our MJ Alert text system that we can send you text if we need to notify you about something. All you have to do to sign up is text MJ to the phone number 67283, and it will send you a confirmation message, and then you will be connected to us. So, Rich, how's it looking right now out there? I see you have some stuff pulled up. Looks like radar.
Yep, got a couple different radar products and satellite product. I've been watching it pretty close all day today. It's starting to creep in on us, so it's coming, folks. The downside to this, I know a lot of us are familiar with these colors with rain, but these colors also equate to cold stuff. So, but the point I'm trying to drive home here is this front line you're seeing starting to creep in on us. Right behind this front line is when the wind's going to hit us, y'all. So, as Captain already alluded to, when that wind starts and it's going to get cold quick, that wind is what's going to get your skin. So make sure you're keeping that that skin covered up and staying warm. But the second radar display you're seeing over here on the right, you see the blues and greens mixing together. So that's in the upper atmosphere that you're looking at there. I'm not going to get too weather nerdy on you, but it's starting to get mixed up in the atmosphere. So it's happening. It's getting cold up there. So it's coming, y'all. Just be ready and be safe. We're not doing this to try and get you scared, but we just want you to be safe and be ready.
Got it. Do you want to pull up the weekly update? We'll get through that real quick, and then we'll take
Absolutely.
any questions that we have.
All right. So this week we are covering December the 15th through December the 21st. And getting right into our numbers, 937 police calls for service, 68 fire calls, 19 crime reports, 73 arrests, 405 traffic stops, 211 citations, 38 non-injury crashes, and 4 injury crashes. And crash numbers are creeping up just a tiny bit again.
Sure are.
And on to the crime reports, 8 family disturbances, 4 fraud, 3 each of property damage and harassment, and 1 threat report. And into the arrest charges, we're doing some really good proactive numbers here this week. 20 simple possession of drugs, 18 driving on suspended DLs, 17 arrests for warrants, 9 no DLs, and you see the rest there. Some good work by the crew this week.
Mm-hmm. And folks, what you see is 47% of our crime stats are generated from proactive activity of our police officers. So that is what helps keep our crimes against property, stuff that is, taken from you, and then crimes against persons, that keeps that down, where there's crimes harming a person down. So we're grateful for the hard work of our officers. They are so proactive out there, and that's what generates the drug numbers, the driving on suspended, and the warrants. That's the crime that they find during their patrols. So they do amazing work, and we're grateful for all of them.
And then getting into the Guardian Shield program, the top 3 stats that everyone likes there, of course, is the stolen cars at 142, the stolen plates at 62, and 100 wanted persons. We finally hit the triple digits there in the wanted persons since the program has been in place.
Very cool. Thanks so much, Rich. Folks, if you have questions, type those in the comments. Rich and I are here for that. I saw some comments through here about SALT, Saundersville Road. So, Don, that road is not in the city limits. That would be up to the Wilson County Road Commission, and I do know they get out and salt the roads as well, but Saundersville Road is not a city road, so you will not see city trucks out that way unless there's some type of specific request where they are needed. Here's just a comment from Joe, and to be safe tonight, he'll be out working in it as well. If you see any landscape trucks, think about us here too, and that's true. You see a lot of the parking lots are maintained by landscaping crews. When they're not working on the shrubs or the actual landscape of businesses, they go into their parking lot treatment program, and they lay the salt as well and clear the parking lots. So thank you, Joe, for that. And you got Georgina, Rich, who is so excited for the snow, also wants people to be safe. I'm not sure I'm so excited for this snow. It's going to be really cold. like really, really cold. And, this is not a normal snow event or winter weather event. This is something that we haven't seen in a while. And we just want really everyone to be careful. And where it makes it difficult, folks, is the dangers it can give emergency responders. So when it snows, typically we always have our roadway incidents, but it's okay for our officers and firefighters and paramedics and first responders to be out in it. We're not having to worry about frostbite. We're able to layer up a little bit to deal with the cold. But this is something that requires you to layer up a lot, and you don't want to be out in it for any extended amount of time. So it really puts a greater threat towards our emergency responders who are out there. So that's why we are being very careful to ensure that they have the resources that they need and the people that they need, so no one is exposed to a degree that causes harm to them. So just think about our emergency responders that are out there. Just know if there are extra incidents, it's going to require them to be out there and working in it. And really, keep them in your prayers, right? Because they're going to be out in it, away from their families for the holidays, but also dealing with some difficult days with the super, super cold weather. Some more kind comments from Andy. We appreciate that. Just scrolling through the different questions to see if I see anything. Rich, I know you can see them as well. Do you see anything here?
See one. There you go, Thomas.
So Thomas is talking about, what can you keep in your car in case you get stuck and need help? The biggest thing, Thomas, is to ensure you have stuff in there to keep yourself warm. That is the biggest thing, because there is going to be that delay until a responder gets to you to help you through that situation. You want to try to stay as warm as you can. So plenty of blankets. If you're going out anyway, you need to have those layers on and dress like it. And if you don't have to get out, don't be out. Rich, do you have anything to add to the car emergency kits? I know here it's different because we're not rural, we're more urban. So the response is a lot quicker than like traveling through, Iowa or Nebraska or something where it's empty. But what do you have?
Yeah, for sure. Even around town here, it's a great idea to keep an extra jacket or a blanket. If you need to, make sure you have an extra car charger or a battery charger for your phone, a flashlight in case you need to flag somebody down with a flashlight. That's probably the most essential things. Grab a bottle of water as you're leaving the house. Don't leave that water in the car overnight, but grab a bottle of water as you're leaving the house in case you need to drink while you're stranded on the side of the road. And that's probably the most important things.
Yeah, absolutely. Lee's, mentioning a thermo flask with coffee or warm water in it. Great idea there, Lee. Arlie's asked about the power company. So we have got information from the power companies that they don't believe there's going to be a great load. So everything should be good for the most part. There shouldn't be any extended power outages. There could be temporary, but nothing extended, because also with the holiday weekend, a lot of the commercial industry is not working. So they are not putting a load onto the power grid, which is good. So everything else can handle the load. But they say the loads will likely be typical of any cold winter weather period, unless there's some heavy winds that maybe tree limb will knock a power line down, something like that. If I don't see any other questions, Don's talking about the kitty litter. You can pour it to free a stuck tire, of course. And be careful, folks, too, walking around your home. We see a lot of fall injuries during winter weather. When the roads get slick, the sidewalks also get slick, your front porch gets slick, your back porch gets slick. Be mindful of all that. Don't just step out without holding on to something, because you could fall. We do see a lot of that as well, is a lot of injuries related to that. Sometimes it's 6 to like 8 a day when stuff like that happens. There's an ambulance going to help someone with a fall because they slip on the slick ice. Rich, I think we covered it all, folks. We're going to keep you updated throughout this event, whether it's a live update like this or through our MJ Alert text system and our social media. So just stay tuned. Again, you want to try to be home tonight. Don't be out and caught, and then you're trying to get home when the roads are hazardous. That, again, is when we see the most incidents, is when the winter weather comes at a time when everyone's trying to get home. and it's going to be the Christmas holiday. Tomorrow's going to be, what's today? Thursday, right, Rich? So tomorrow is not Christmas Eve. Saturday is Christmas Eve, and Christmas is Sunday. You can tell I work all the time, folks, when I can't remember what certain dates are. But everything is coming together. It's a holiday weekend. Our staff, again, is just so thankful for all the support that you provide them through this time, but all throughout the year, supporting our staff and encouraging them for the work that they do to keep this city safe. It goes such a long way, and it just energizes them even more to get out and work hard for our community. So we are so thankful for you. If there's anything that we can do, please give us a call. And then again, I want to remind everyone, if you think of someone and you're not sure if they have heat or not, or they are in a situation that is too cold, please just give us a call so we can go check on them. We would much rather check on someone and to find out that they have heat than to not know about someone who could need heat, because we're going to do whatever we can to ensure people are warm. And we have many resources available to us, but if we don't know about it, there's nothing we can do to help someone. So please, 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 if you think you know of someone who could use the help, who are living in a situation that and they don't have heat, please give us a call so we can check on them. Be safe, everyone. Again, we're going to keep you communicated. If there's anything that we can do, just give us a call. Take care and be safe.